people use a person-centered planning approach by listening, learning, and understanding each person as an individual. It is a process directed by the person to assist others to learn how the person wants to live. It also shares how someone wants to be supported, enabling them to move towards a meaningful life in their community. Using a person-centered approach empowers a person to live their life with dignity, respect, freedom, choice, and control. This allows them to build and direct their life on their terms. Supports and services are built around the person, with their preferred interests, preferences, and activities at the forefront. For Aaliyah, living a self-directed life is the only option that keeps her happy, healthy, and strong. Happiness is a superpower for Aaliyah and is measured in her numerous smiles. Her health is a communication tool. She is strong in her convictions to build resilience in her life.
When she was about 21 years old, and my wife always had the vision of, we're not going to be here forever. It's just not going to happen. So she has to be in a situation where she feels comfortable, where she's loved, and we have to surround her with good people.
We want her to know that what she wants matters. So she will let us know if she's unhappy or if she likes the situation. So we roll off of her vibe. If we feel that she's happy and content, then we're good and we're gonna keep moving along with the situation. But if she's not happy, we will completely change it up on the spot because we want her to be as comfortable and as happy as possible. Whether it's in her home, out in the community, or if she's at her day program at Lee Services, we always wanna make sure that her priorities are always number one and that her needs are taken care of.
It is important to understand and respect each person's unique way of communicating.
When you're working with her on a regular basis, you get to know her sounds because she will communicate using verbal moans or laughter or any type of audible noise to let you know if she's excited about something, if she doesn't like something, or if something is good with her. It's okay.
She has her daily routine. She goes to her day program in the morning, comes home in the afternoon for the afternoon girl that assists Aaliyah, and then I come in the evening for the overnight to assist Aaliyah and get her ready, for the morning, her daily routine, get her dressed, have her breakfast, her drink, and then we'll decide to go to the store if she wants, I'll just say, you'll know. I mean, like, Aaliyah, you want to go out? And she'll be like, she knows. She's like, oh, yeah. And we'll go to the mall, and then lunch, and then the rest of the afternoon, we'll do some activities around here, do some cleaning, light housekeeping. Aaliyah, listen to our music, and then it'll be dinner. And then the rest of the night, we just, whatever we decide to do, whatever she's in the mood for.
Now, getting a place for her was really a challenge because of the wheelchair and stairs. So we had to do a research as far as, what type of apartment we would get.
The New Jersey Division of Developmental Disabilities has partnered with the Department of Community Affairs to provide housing subsidies to eligible people through the Supportive Housing Connection. The Supportive Housing Connection is a bridge program for housing assistance until the person can access a housing voucher through federal, state, or local housing assistance programs, formerly called Section 8 and now named the Housing Choice Voucher.
There was an opportunity for Aaliyah to go on a Section 8 voucher, and the particular voucher helps offset the costs of her living.
Aaliyah is a bit of a fashion diva, if you haven't noticed. Her closet is constantly filled with clothes and shoes and accessories. She loves to look good. She loves to smell good. I believe she gets that from her grandmother, the whole smelling good and always taking care of herself.
We have great people, Carolyn and Jamie and the other staff that come in that help her. So we have 24-hour coverage. It's the best deal.
John has always embraced self-advocacy. He was raised in a family that included him in every aspect of their lives and refused to treat John differently than any other person. Today, John lives his life as he has chosen, with freedom, choice, and control.
There was some discussion of me going into a group home or residential facility back when I was 12, and I had an aunt and uncle, mainly my aunt on my father's side, my father's sister, who said, "Oh no, we're not gonna put him in a facility. No, he'll come live with me." And so I moved from Hanover Township to Boonton and continued in public school. One of the reasons why I have been able to be so successful, if you say that I'm successful, then, is that I had family who were determined that I would be brought up as a, quote, normal, non-disabled kid, as whatever normal means. Like, I would do the same things that my able-bodied peers would do. If I wanted to sign up for an activity that was going on at school, they did not say no. It was yes, do that, sign up for that.
It was important to John to pursue higher education so he could obtain meaningful employment. His hopes and dreams became a reality when he gained employment at the Dawn Center for Independent Living, assisting others.
I did high school, then went on to college. I have got degrees in psychology, got a degree in psychology, got a master's in psychology, and I worked in disabled advocacy for years. And then in the 1990s, I had medical complications, and so I had to kind of give up work. So now I'm doing a lot of volunteer work and just in doing education, taking courses at colleges in writing and also in foreign languages, Spanish.
John encourages others to take a person-centered approach by focusing on the person's strengths in order to reach their goals.
When you are living your life, when a person is living their life, try not to focus on the things that they have difficulty with.
A person-centered approach to planning takes time and the ability to listen deeply to the person and their family. This process allows someone to identify both what is important to and for them. Carmelise had a vision of the life she wanted to live, and it was not in a nursing home. Her vision was to live in a home in a community of her choice. She wanted meaningful relationships and valued experiences. Carmelise's hopes and dreams were to have a garden at her new home so she can eat healthy, regain her independence, and have a job helping others.
When you look at what is person-centered living, it's making sure that their needs are met first before anything else. And so making sure that my voice is heard. For me, I believe that those needs needed to be met with a ferocious and ferocity that was never met before.
Carmelise is an incredible self-advocate who lived a very restrictive life in a nursing home. Carmelise shared her voice and led the process to rebuild a life of freedom and choice in the community. Carmelise wasn't looking for a house. She was looking for a home where she felt listened to, understood, and supported.
Independent living is defined as, to me, someone who is able to live in the community with either supports or no supports. Now, how do you define the supports is another question. It's being able to understand, okay, am I able to readily get help or assistance with doing the dishes or laundry or food shopping or X, Y, and Z? What are my needs currently? What are my goals currently? And how am I able to do X, Y, and Z?
Carmelise was looking to make personal connections and to build relationships with others. Mom Cares, the residential provider, took a person-centered approach and was mindful about pairing the people in Carmelise's home. They developed a friendship first, and then, according to Carmelise, became family.
I want to make sure that I try as much as possible to match these individuals. When you see the needs and likes, whatever, and they're not going to be the same, but you want to make sure there's you are doing the best you can to make sure that is happening, that you're keeping that in mind. Person-centered approach is putting the individual's interests first.
Carmelise is a spiritual person, dedicated to prayer and blessings for herself and others.
She was using a wheelchair, she was using a commode, in her room. And through therapy, with the proper nutrition, she was able to start doing the therapy and start walking, take the wheelchair to go outside, but in the house she'll walk with the walker, until finally now she's able to walk with the walker or the crutches.
Person-centered approaches assure the person is at the center of the process. It acknowledges the individual and those who know them best are the experts in their life. There are various person-centered thinking tools and skills that can be used to identify what is important to and for the person. What is important to the person includes their likes, interests, gifts, strengths, and preferences. What is important for the person includes how to best support the person, as well as areas of health and safety. Logan is energetic, full of spirit, and loves encouraging others. Logan has worked hard to overcome many challenges in his life. His family and support team have had to listen differently to Logan for him to have a meaningful community-based life. With the right supports, he's engaged in activities that bring him happiness and joy. There were many circumstances that didn't allow others to envision Logan living a community-based life. By listening deeply and taking a person-centered approach, his parents worked hard to make sure Logan had the life he wanted to live.
Families don't know what they don't know, especially when you're first starting out. We were grasping on to anyone that was able to provide guidance to us, anyone that could mentor us. We did our best, I think, in the beginning. I think looking back, we probably would have done things a little bit differently, but we knew that we grew right along with Logan. So we learned what we had to do, what we needed to change, where we needed to back off as Logan was aging. I think for us, it was really a challenge in seeing that you needed something that just wasn't available for us, during certain years. And we struggled. We struggled as a family with that to maintain everyone's health and safety in our home for many years. But we also had some beautiful people that surrounded us and guided us and mentored us so that we knew how to advocate in a more effective way, right? There's a difference between being aggressive and being assertive. And we quickly learned, I think, how to partner better with the professionals that were able to assist us along the way.
Your children have rights, and those rights should not be denied you just for lack of information.
Logan's parents focused on identifying a provider agency that was receptive to taking a person-centered approach in supporting him. There had to be a focus on what was important to Logan while balancing what was important for Logan. The one-page profile is an easy-to-read, person-centered document highlighting what others like and admire about a person, what is important to and for the person, how the person wants to be supported, also embracing one's hopes and dreams for their future.
Typically, when we were introducing Logan to providers, when we were introduced to the Community Living Education Project, it became, I think, it was very upfront that the questions that we were being asked were solely about the behavioral support needs, which can be outstanding at times for Logan. And the conversations were really going in one direction, and we were talking about how many staff does it need? We were talking about a very complicated, cumbersome behavior support plan and the complexity of, the details around the behavior support plan. But no one was really talking about what Logan wanted to do, what things made Logan happy. And, Natalie, from CLEP really said, hey, we have to take a different direction here. And she updated the one-page profile with us. She presented the one-page profile, before we even met with the potential providers, so that they knew that there was more to Logan than behaviors. It really allowed people to see Logan as a whole person and not just, the documents that identify challenges.
Taking a person-centered approach has positively impacted Logan's behavioral well-being. Logan's support team and family continue to see these benefits.
So Logan's provider is really taking a very person-centered approach within Logan's group home. It has been very successful since we've really stressed the things that we were hoping to have Logan do, and Logan was very vocal about things that he wanted to experience in life. I think since everyone has been really on board and we have great open communication, everyone's seen the benefits to Logan's mental health from taking this approach also. Right? We've seen Logan become happier, behaviorally healthier, more engaged and social within his community also. And they feel that within the home. They see the benefits to this.
Our team has empowered Logan to make person-centered choices by first talking to him. He has his own ideas about how he wants his life to unfold. And I tell not only myself, but our staff, and anybody who will listen all the time, that our approach should be therapeutic and come from that position of support and not authoritative. And so removing our egos from the conversation and truly allowing our individuals to make those choices for themselves, even with the smallest of details. What do you want to wear today? As long as it's appropriate or weather appropriate and it's clean, give them those choices, because then if they're empowered to make those choices on a smaller scale, they become more empowered to make choices on a larger scale. And the trust and rapport that we build with our individuals will then allow us to allow them to come to us and initiate those conversations about things that, maybe they didn't think were possible. And so we approach Logan in the same way that I would approach myself or I would approach my own child. What do you want to do today? And we go from there. Let them lead.
A unique day was arranged for Logan with the support he needs using the Community Care Program budget. Logan became engaged in the activities that he chose, which allowed him to live a happier, healthier, more meaningful life.
Logan's able to access his budget to do things he wants to do. The things that he's interested in. He goes to a music class. He goes to a pottery class. He's able to do that with the support of our staff. So we're able to provide transportation. We're able to provide staffing supports that Logan needs when he's at these activities, but he's able to access his budget and use that outside of our residential offering to access things that we can't offer. So we don't have an art teacher and we don't have a music teacher, but these places in the community do. And because Logan wants to go there and can thrive there and benefit from going there, he's able to access his budget to do so, and we're able to provide the staffing supports and transportation he needs. There is an opportunity to do this type of programming in a community-based residential setting. And it takes a lot of collaboration among the family, the provider, and also the supports coordination agency, but it can be achieved.
Although Logan lives outside of the family home, the family is actively involved in Logan's life. They've built great relationships with the people supporting Logan and visit often.
Logan really loves hanging out with Dad, I think. And anything that Darren's doing, Logan is right in tow. He is more than happy to help.
Around the yard. He actually, one of his big things lately has been helping around the yard. And he wants to do it more than I want to do it sometimes. We've been digging stumps out lately, and I'm like, okay, we did 2. He's like, oh, there's more. I'm like, oh, let's save some for next week. Picking up sticks around the yard and doing yard work. He's excited to do stuff outside now, which is actually pretty good. It's fun to actually go out there and do it with him. And he's not just standing around looking at it. He's actually working hard. So it's good.
I think he looks forward to Darren's time with Darren. Every Tuesday they go to the park. They do pickleball and tennis and basketball and 7 board games, and they're always the same 7 board games, but it's what he loves and is comfortable with. So we do that, right? It brings him joy, and there is a benefit to that. Log with me more so, he loves cooking, so if cookies, pizza, or burgers is on the menu, Logan is really active in participating in the kitchen with us.
Logan's house manager encourages independence and choice in order to see growth in the people she supports.
I think a lot of families, they get nervous. Maybe they've never been in a program where it was community-based. And once you actually start doing the community-based activities, they really see how much your child is really capable of. I think especially I'm a mom, so I get nervous. My kid's growing up and I guess not needing me, so to speak. But it's rewarding when I see them being successful on their own. It's like I just want to hold on to them, but they can be successful. Just gotta give them that chance. I think that's what works in my house.